am happy, nay ecstatic, to welcome to our stage the one, the only, Emerson!
Hey up. You alright? Yeah? I just want to clear something up quickly before I start. Contrary to popular belief, I've not in fact got autism. Autism's got me, mother chuffers! Yeah! Talking of chuffers, people often assume because I'm autistic, I must really love trains. That's annoying, right? The most annoying thing about those lazy, stereotypical judgments is I genuinely do love trains. I've been into trains since I was a kid. I did find the problem with being a teenage railway enthusiast was it does tend to make your rebellious teenage phase just that little bit less rebellious than everybody else's. Let's just say, while many of my peers were maybe experimenting a little bit, maybe on drugs, I were on the 1754 Northern Service to Doncaster via Rotherham Central, while many of my peers were having sex. I were having no sex. Because it's against Northern Rail's conditions of carriage. But my favourite thing to do on trains, right, I like to stand with one foot in one carriage, other foot in other, close my eyes, and it's almost like I'm surfing. Almost. I've never actually been surfing for two reasons. To start with, I'm worried it'll ruin trains for me. But also, I've got a coordination disorder called dyspraxia, so if I were to go surfing, I'd probably fall in. And you might think it's a shit hobby for someone with a coordination disorder to be standing upright on a moving vehicle. But I'm here to tell you, it's fucking epic. You get to spend all your pip on train tickets and justify it as extreme improvised physiotherapy. But yeah, like I said, autistic, dyspraxic, but there's more to me than that. I'm a well-rounded, complicated human being. I've also got sensory processing disorder, ADHD, two different kinds of anxiety. Basically, it's like I've got the rat from Ratatouille living on my head. Except he's brought all his mates with him and they've all got very different directions in life. Like I said with the anxiety, two different kinds, right? I've got social anxiety and general anxiety, so what that means is, yes, I am scared of the dentist, but I'm also just as scared of the receptionist. weirdly though, not got stage fright, which is just as well. But another thing as well, and this sort of goes hand in hand with autism, sensory processing issues. Like I stood in a puddle today and that was really annoying. My foot was all wet and it was horrible and I hated it. And I made it a little bit better for myself, not perfect, but a bit better by going back and standing in the puddle with my other foot so they matched. Sort out the wet sock discrepancy. And the ADHD, right? Because I've been recently diagnosed with ADHD. It's like I'm collecting them. It's sort of like a really shit version of Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. And yeah, I do make the Mario power-up noise every time someone gives me a vaccine. But I've very recently been diagnosed with ADHD, and I don't understand how it didn't happen sooner. Because there were so many signs. Like the other week, I genuinely spent 15 minutes looking for a burger that I'd already eaten. Anyway, I don't want to beat about the bush. But I don't. I'm a gay virgin. For a long time, I assumed I was asexual. Turns out I'm just an unmotivated gay. In more ways than one, I can't be asked. And I can't be fucked either. But, you know, I'm navigating it, it's fine. It's like, I'm used to it. I'm used to being weird, I'm used to people thinking I'm weird. I grew up autistic, obviously I'm used to it. And sometimes neurotypical people say things that are well weirder than anything I could ever say. Like, I overheard a conversation the other day that no social story in the world could have prepared me for. By the way, if you don't know what a social story is, it's kind of like a comic book without any jokes in it. But like, they do not teach you this in social skills lessons, right? I overheard one guy said, nah, my money's on wet, you know. And then the other guy said, no, I think Emerson's more of a dry guy. And I thought, you what? So I went over to him and I said, hey guys, you what? And they said, oh, don't worry, it's nothing weird. Oh, thank God for that, it's nothing weird. What is it then? And he said, oh, we were just wondering, if you were a cat, big if you were a cat, what kind of food would you have? For the record, Emerson is not a dry guy. I don't want anything particularly fishy or all, but I wouldn't mind one that looks like a bit like deconstructed roast dinner. But anyway, like I said, I'm at one with me weirdness, okay? But not everybody is, and it has made it harder for me to navigate relationships. Like, I'd like to become a practicing gay. I clearly need for practice, look at me. But the problem is, it's not that my standards are too high, right? If anything, they're too low, because I'd genuinely be prepared to marry any guy who was willing to marry me on a class 142 diesel multiple unit. Within the confines of the relevant train operating company's terms and conditions. Of course. Problem is, the other guy's standards, right? They have to be even lower, because he has to be prepared to bum this. But I was chatting to this lad, right? We were getting on quite well. We had a fair bit in common. I was flirting with him. I think it was working, but I never got to find out for sure. Because he suddenly went fucking weird. And I thought, oh no, what have I done here? So I said, oh, sorry mate, is it something I said? He said, no, it's fine, it's just, no offence, but... Which is what people always say before we say something really offensive. He said, no offence, but I just don't think, morally, I could ever date or have sex with an autistic person. Morally! And who said sex were on cards? But morally! Morally? I'm autistic, I'm not a fucking cat! And if I was, beef and gravy, please. Hey, well, I guess I've just got to acknowledge and accept that, and it's not my fault, it's not my problem. Well, it shouldn't be my problem, but for some people the tism apparently just doesn't make them jism. Thank you very much, I've been Emerson Young.
You were one, folks, you were one. That was Emerson. How are you feeling? Your mouth's dry. He's out of words, so I'm going to go straight over to our judges. So, Leslie, I'm going to come to you. Just a second, bro. I know you enjoyed that, but I'm going to take you to your last. Leslie, what was your feedback there for the gorgeous Emerson?
Just brilliant. Just everything that you are is just laid out and perfect and tells everybody what we all should know and that we're hopefully learning and that there's a place for everyone. And I laughed and laughed, even jokes I didn't think I'd get, and then suddenly I got it, man. I'm there, I'm getting there. Brilliant. Well done.
Lovely feedback. I'm going to come to you, Johnny. What's your feedback for Emerson?
Just really efficient. Just a really well-constructed set. Like, you really just had the audience in the palm of your hand. It was fantastic. Really genuine. Very good.
Don't worry, Craig. I'm going to come to you. What is your feedback?
Nearly killed me! Oh my god! I don't know if you could hear, but I think I was the loudest laughing here. Yeah. Oh, I need to take a breath after that. I need to rest. That was awesome. As an autistic person myself and, humble brag, a practicing gay, that was all right up my street. That was all right up my street. I got everything. It all hit really well. I can relate to almost everything you said. I'm asexual as well, so that also worked. I the most I've laughed in a long time. I don't tend to be that vocal with comedians a lot, but you've hit every single one of my boxes, and I know it's not the end yet, but I want to say tough to beat.
Ooh.